Whenever you're good to go.
Good to go. We recording, we?
Yeah, you're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's a different intro.
It is a different intro. All right. Episode 22 of... Yeah, 22?
21.
21. No.
Yeah.
Yes, 21. Episode 21 of the Gimson Rosko Show. And today we are joined by Chris Double, a.k.a.
Chris
Wilkey, a.k.a. C Double.
Fuck this. Start again. Start again.
I'm not winning that. C Double, a.k.a. Chris Wilkey from the Candy Farm.
Yeah. So please like and subscribe to the Gimson Rosko Show.
And smash that bell button, you fucking bellends.
Indeed.
That was a bit heavy, wasn't it?
Well,
new little
he's been away as well, so like you said, he hadn't had time to plan, so he didn't know what your name was.
Yeah.
Chris Double!
Chris Double!
Yay.
So
From the farm
candy.
candy.
You doing music? You know, you doing music? You two guys?
Yes.
Yeah, in the background, I am.
Yeah.
He's doing music very heavily.
Yeah. I just, I said to Sophie, was on last week, just a minute ago, that I took a 1 week break from Instagram about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
I'm still on a break.
Oh, no.
It was just because I was doing so much, I burnt myself out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just fucking...
Everybody recognises, I've seen Roscoe or whatever. I bumped into Roscoe a couple of weeks ago, and we were saying the amount of work or whatever that you've done or whatever in the last couple of years. But you've done it alone.
Yeah.
Like, we're so used to whatever sort of seeing Country Cartel, and when Country Cartel was together, I'm certainly used to seeing you as a crew. And not only, obviously, you two guys or whatever, you had a whole crew and everything around you all the time. So, yeah, to see you work, I was saying to Roscoe, to see you working so heavy alone, it's incredible, really.
Yeah.
I feel really...
It did, but
I was so used to having a crew around.
I found I got myself into a situation where I was making content for the sake of making content, and I wasn't
enjoying it,
cherishing it, or enjoying it.
What? Because you were doing it on your own?
It's probably a bit to do with it.
But also the volume of it. So the volume of what I was doing for the sake of algorithms.
Right.
At the same time, everything I was doing was what I like doing, but the volume of it to try and tick boxes and algorithm to get my shit in front of people, it was just like...
So you were too busy you were heavily thinking about like marketing and promotion more than the actual product.
The product itself.
Just having fun with it.
Yeah, and like now, like I've been fucking writing and making some really great stuff, and I've been having a lot of fun doing it without the pressure of thinking I need to post this and I need to get... Without the pressure of thinking I need to get my weekly Instagram content up together.
But what I'm really asking is, don't you miss being in the studio with us all then, Gimson?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah. It's, yeah. I do.
Like just having so many, people, whatever, coming to the studio, whatever, sharing their ideas as well.
There was, because when I had back, when was it? Was it last year? Last year when
the year before,
I had Marky and that coming up to the studio.
Yeah, COVID, wasn't it? So it was last year.
So it was like Marky, Rubber, Moose, Carlton.
I've seen that on Instagram, just so you know.
And that was fucking so much fun. And then that wasn't, that for me was something just for fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything with that for my personal stuff.
Yeah.
So that was nothing to do with me. And my projects, that was just like, Marky was like, I want to do this.
Of course,
I was like, cool, that sounds interesting. It was almost like, not like a side hustle, because it wasn't even a hustle, it was just fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's what I'm saying. It's just catching those moments, innit?
Yeah.
And sort of living that time or whatever. Because I've seen those, because some of them guys or whatever sort of they're veteran, they're OGs or whatever. They've been doing this for a long time or whatever. And that was just absolutely incredible just to see them creating some sort of content, period.
Yeah.
Because there's certain people like Marky that's been heavily in the scene, basically, whatever, in the music scene or whatever, and around. But we haven't seen much content or whatever from him or whatever. He had, his entertainment, this, that, and the other sort of thing, and he threw on some of the best nights that we've ever had. But at the same time, to see him come back or whatever sort of thing, and just basically work, with us, with creatives, this, that, and the other. Because I know some of us were bringing Marky in just to help us, like,
he is a vibe, and he's very motivational. He's motivating. He's not very motivational. That's bad English. He's very motivating.
Are you sure he's not very motivational?
Motivational. Which one
Google
is it?
Motivational.
Is that what it is?
He's not motivating. He's not Mr. Motivator. I know. He could be.
Oh, dude.
Remember that cunt?
I think that could work for you,
GMTV,
Marky.
man. Fucking 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Weekend shake, motherfucker.
Marky, it'd be brilliant. Can you imagine that? This little
Marky.
leotardy would be great. Yeah.
on the golf
It's
course.
like, you know, on Nutty Professor, where he fucking when he first like loses the weight, and he goes and he's like, spandex, spandex.
Oh my days. Yeah. That'd be perfect.
But we have fucking gone over the intro. Who are you for the people watching?
I'm Chris Wilkey. I'm formerly C Double or C Double Beats, and I used to make hip hop music. I used to be a rapper, and I retired or whatever from that about maybe 10 years ago to do the Candy Farm, and now I make music videos. So the greatest thing is, you know, I had a great career in making beats, and I had a great crew. I had great people around me for 20, 25 years, and then basically I wanted to stay in the hip hop scene. So I went on to do music videos. And I sat down with my crew. I sat down with my guy, my main man or whatever, my right-hand guy, Gwenny. And we just sat down or whatever, sort of in what we used to call our brandy nights. We used to basically take hip-hop CDs or cassettes or whatever at the time. We used to have a drink and that, and just basically, you know, talk about the kind of music, whatever that we was listening to and how we want to work with these people. Some of these people we ended up working with, you know. But I really wanted to stay in hip-hop. I am hip-hop, basically. I absolutely love hip-hop or whatever sort of thing. It's quite a privilege. It's so funny because I hear some of the generations talking about hip-hop as they see it, you know, their generation of hip-hop or whatever sort of thing. Yeah. And so for me or whatever sort of thing, it was absolutely incredible to see the birth of hip-hop, basically. Not, you know, in the States and, you know, over here in the UK. It was amazing. I remember, I don't know if you guys are the same. Did you feel when you was perhaps at school that you had to fit in a certain box? Like I thought, when I'm older, I've got to be a skinhead, a mod, or something like that, right? That's how I felt, right? And then hip hop came along, and I could do all of these things, right? I could either be be a rapper or do something to do with music. I could be a graph writer, okay, and do something to do with graffiti, or I could be a dancer. I could be all of those things in hip hop. So I felt like my life was saved when did you guys feel that or whatever?
I don't know, man.
You had to be something.
I think when I was younger, before hip hop, I didn't even really think about things like that.
Okay.
Or I don't think I was aware of trying to. I can remember wanting to be white and wanting to be black. I can remember that. I can remember being like, I want curtains, I want an afro, and I couldn't have either. But I can't remember wanting to be like, I want to fit into a box or anything. But then when hip hop come along, I just wanted to smoke weed.
Okay, yeah.
Nate Dogg and that.
Yeah.
That was it.
I can't actually remember much of my teenage years.
People always bring up stories, and I'm like, what? And then they're like, no, I'm like, oh shit. I remember that.
I've had a lot of sleep deprivation in my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that has massively played havoc on my memories in life.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I'm actually taking things I remember called Lion's Mane, which is mycelium extract from Paul Stamets.
Okay.
And it's the one thing proven to stave off dementia, which is the one thing I'm fucking shit scared of. And I think I've got early signs of it. But no, but I don't think, I don't know. I think I always wanted to do something with music.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid, before I knew what hip hop was, and I was listening to fucking Guns N' Roses and that fucking dancing around in the mirror, fucking.
Yeah.
And then when I found hip hop, it was my neighbor who was playing the Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
He was a bully.
But
the bully. And it was what the fuck's that? And it was just and then I found out, and I was about 10. So I was about 10 then, and this was. It must have been when Tupac died. About that time, because he died 95, wasn't it? So it'd been after he died, I guess. So it'd been 96 sort of time. So All Eyes on Me would have been released. So I started on that, and then it was Tupac and DMX probably, I would say, and then it was through my teenage years, DMX, it was just the anger and the fucking like.
Yeah.
That like he got me through shit.
See, I really like sort of in the latter year, you know, sort of say the latter years, sort of in the 90s. I like anything to do with characteristics. Now, funny enough, I seen an amazing interview that you had with Noodles the other day, because you were briefly talking about like accents and stuff in hip hop.
Yeah.
I was influenced by American hip hop that was coming over here, and absolutely all of us, doesn't matter what they say, we was all doing a little bit of the American tinge of accents because that's who he was influenced by or whatever sort of. Singers were exactly the same.
So it's like, I think we all did that to begin with because that's all we had to look at. Right?
Yeah,
but then when you look at London Posse, that was 1991.
Yeah. I know, and that's what. No,
and they
absolutely.
were spitting in British accents.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it's like,
yeah.
It was there. We just didn't know where it
look,
was.
this is the thing. I've got to give a big shout out as well to all the freaking English crews and all the peeps back then, including London Posse or whatever, MC Duke, Derek B, for Christ's sake. I mean, these were genuinely the first original. Well, I say original. They were the first sort of proper English cats, basically, or whatever, to bring hip hop that wasn't from overseas. Basically, it was they were trying to make it homegrown, this and the other, and they did an incredible job. Yeah, and there was also, you know, there was female rappers or whatever, like She Rockers and Dynamite or whatever sort of thing. A little later, they did exactly the same thing or whatever sort of thing.
See, I didn't like it. It would have been like the 2000s, Black Twang and Roots Maneuver, which were my eye openers to
Kalashnikov.
the British
Kalashnikov. Oh my god!
So Black Twang, Roots Maneuver, Kalashnikov, and from that, then you were like, I remember buying a Task Force mixtape from Route One.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like you remember the Louis Slippers thing? Remember the Louis Slippers?
What was the Task one? The Great Outdoors one.
Task Force.
The Task Force album with the Great Outdoors. That one. I remember buying that. From
Okay.
That must have been like 2001, 2002, I reckon.
Graph the bus up, wasn't it?
You could pull them out again, and that's
Graph
some.
the bus
yeah,
up.
that is some incredible shit.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
That's when it came through.
But then around that sort of time as well, you had the big garage thing going on. Then the transfer to
Two-step,
grunge. So you had like Heartless Crew doing their thing. Then you had like Crazy Titch and Dirty Goods doing their thing. So when they were Boys in the Hood on the old Sidewinder fucking packs and that. Then we were
around then.
Well, that's we were getting the Nasty Crew tapes and the Rough Squad tapes and that coming down from Deja Vu, the pirate tapes coming down from London. It's like fucking.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Birth of this whole new thing.
Yeah.
Now you got drill.
See, listen, it was exactly the same or whatever at the birth of hip hop as well. Because basically, like I was let me see, 11, 12 years old, right? And the first cassette that was brought to school, right? Now, by the way, back then we had maybe Buffalo Girls by Malcolm McLaren, and he was a British producer who produced, he was the manager for the Sex Pistols. He did the Buffalo Girls after basically coming back from the States, so introducing hip-hop to us there. So after that or whatever, so I've got a bit of mind block. So basically, after whatever sort of thing, Malcolm McLaren brought it to us, then we had Morgan Khan, who did the Electro series. They basically bought us Dr. Dre.
Well, Dre was...
And all he was world-class wrecking crew back then.
Yeah.
So for me or whatever...
Because you dabbled in that, right? And you've got like in the electro world, or was that more of like the drive stuff? Because you were doing a spin-off thing recently, innit? With the like 80s sort of like synthwave.
Yeah. The thing is, or whatever sort of thing, I grew up with 80s music or whatever sort of, basically, and electro music was just at the birth of hip hop. So funny enough, I was listening to symphonic music like Jimo Kojar and Vangelis at the time, you know, the laser harp and the synthesizers and all this, you know, and then say Herbie Hancock did, what is it, Rocket. Dun.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with MC Risky, an incredible drum and bass MC back in the day, right? And he says, I'm telling you now, that Herbie Hancock Rocket was the birth of all of the rest of all the genres mixing. So hip hop, dance music, house music, whatever music was from that. Because it was such a risk. It was hip hop to your ears, but it started this whole symphonic sort of wave or whatever for house music and everything that came after it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I do think, or whatever sort of thing, that there's certain tracks that we, you know what I mean, you might be able to think about that were literally groundbreaking. It's like, yeah, that was probably the track that made people think, I'm going to switch up a bit, stop using samples and use a bit more synth for it.
We a couple of episodes back, we just kind of just reviewed a couple of the albums that come out, and we kind of went on that, and like Kanye was one of them. 808s and Heartbreaks.
Wow.
That album, all this modern R&B, like the whole Drake thing, everything like that.
Yeah.
All of them, T-Pain, like a lot of it was like all that.
Yeah.
Was from Kanye.
Yeah.
From that pinnacle, groundbreaking fucking sound that he did on that album.
He almost allowed you to be able to do that sound. I think people are always trying to be safe. Now, it's not that, like, I experimented with lots of different types of music. Like, I was moved by drum and bass. I was moved by jungle. Jungle moved me. I probably listened to jungle in my car back in the day and stuff like that or whatever, probably more than I did hip hop at its peak. Just after the rave period, around 93, 94 or whatever, when hip hop really was kicking in and the whole gangster shit was kicking in or whatever as well. And I loved that period as well, but I was actually more on like the character rappers like Wu-Tang, obviously.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, Gravediggers. If anybody remembers Gravediggers, I mean, groundbreaking. Because that allowed me as well, especially because I was using an American
If you got like
tinge of-
you must have a soft spot for Doom then, if you like that sort of world.
Yeah, I mean, around that time or whatever, just before that period, by the way, we had Onyx. They were crazy, aggressive, like hip-hop, Onyx. And it allowed you to be...
Back the fuck up!
Yeah, back the fuck yeah.
Slam!
Absolutely. So with that character or whatever, it allowed people to be, oh, no, that's cool. I don't have to be so cool. It's
Have
like,
you heard...
animated rappers.
Yeah.
Have you heard
very
Sticky
good.
Fingers' autobiography of Kirk Jones?
No.
The album.
That's good.
It's like, it's in my top 10 albums.
Wow.
I'm gonna fucking, well, you can fucking stream it if you want, but I'll link it to you, man. It's, in that he plays, like at the beginning he has the do 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 do.
Sick.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
And the thing plays out like a movie. And I think it was the first for me. It was the first album. I was like, whoa, this is like some concept shit. And he plays. The whole album from start to finish is a story about this guy called Kirk Jones.
Okay.
Who's like in and out of jail and fucking ended up fucking jumping off a roof at the end. But like the whole thing of it is like...
Yeah.
It's him, and like each track just tells a story. He's got the skits in between the track, and the whole.
So you're saying that whole album project was the concept?
He's this character,
right.
It's a film about this guy, and he
Yeah.
plays the guy in throughout the album.
Yeah.
Sticky Fingers, the autobiography of Kirk Jones. And he plays this guy called Kirk Jones, and he's in a car crash. He's having a conversation. They're rapping together. The court track. So he's in court, and Redman's the judge. Fucking Rod Digger she's like the prosecutor, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. Love it.
And then they got the witnesses, and the witnesses get up on the stand and they're actually rapping like what they saw in that. I was like, whoa. And I think that was like, because we had a thing where when we were doing the whole Country Cartel thing, and me, Dane, and Rosko were going to do a musical or write a musical. And we were like, back at the time, because Dane had his links with Jamie at the Egg. Yeah. And we were going to use that platform to do it. And I had a lot of inspiration from that album of thinking, wow. A hip hop musical, a really good one. Not cheesy, not something fucking deep. And I think then maybe it's good it didn't, because I don't think our mind spaces weren't enough to be deep enough of how deep you could take it. Like it doesn't have to be on a cliche story.
No. It could be about anything.
It could be about anything, but you can just, the music is the medium to
no,
otherwise
absolutely.
You've probably gone down like a hood story.
Yeah, cliche story.
Like
No, absolutely.
But it would have still pushed us forward.
Yeah.
But those concept albums are absolutely brilliant or whatever. And the great thing or whatever about you guys, whatever sort of thing, when you were Country Cartel, there were so many ideas, concepts like running through, and it wasn't just music or whatever sort of thing. It's video ideas, this, that, and the other.
I remember our little comedy sketches.
Incredible, man. Yeah. I mean, can you remember Dane's? I've got
some of them on my computer.
I've got all of them.
Crazy.
Have you?
Yeah.
But do you know what? You look back at them or whatever, and the acting. Like Dane's acting. I mean, Dane's quite an actor or whatever already.
My missus was saying, for years she's been saying, you guys should make kids music. And I'm like, I'm fucking doing nursery rhymes. Yeah. And some of the music that Carvel listens to now, like it's people like, and I can hear Dane fucking doing it perfectly. Like zombie stories. Yeah. But like it's geared for like kids. Like obviously I wouldn't do it as my name because I'd want it as a separate thing from myself. And she's like, I was like,
I thought about writing a book.
She was like, See, he told you for years you've done this. You just jumped on the bandwagon fucking way before these were doing it.
Yeah.
Should've.
It's like when you
Hindsight,
see
hey,
these YouTube-
motherfucker.
You see these YouTube channels. I got my son Senna, and he's watching these YouTube channels of these kids. Whatever.
Unboxings.
Just unbelievable, man.
I said to Carval the other day, so he's like this kid across the road, and they're like watching these fucking gamer fucking things and that. And I said, do you want to do a gamer channel? I said, if you want to do it, let's do it constructive. I said, I'll build you a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I said, but like, I don't want to put his face in it and that. Like, do it like a memoji type fucking thing and just get his fucking say what he wants.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Yeah, actually do it. Don't watch it.
Yeah, do it. Let's fucking make it. Let's fucking play the game and you do it. I'd rather you do that than.
I think when we see our children or whatever sort of thing, like I know with Senna, whenever I see him doing something or whatever, you want to sort of like you want to like expand on that or whatever he's interested in. But it depends what it is, because he's really into guns and Nerf guns and everything at the moment.
Mate.
He went to his friend. We're trying to keep guns at the house to a certain degree, right? He's 5 years old or whatever. He went to his friend's house, whatever. He goes, Dad. He goes, Finley's got a Nerf gun or whatever sort of thing. I want a Nerf gun.
Bring him around my
I'm like, hold on a minute.
Hundreds of
I got
fuckers.
what it was, whatever. I got props or whatever sort of thing for the candy farm of an artist that sprayed. These huge guns that are Nerf guns, but they've been sprayed by an artist basically. He goes, what, they're Nerf guns? I go, yeah, mate. And it's sort of getting permission or whatever to be able to play with these guns now. It's like, right, son, let's go. I don't even have any any of the Nerf bullets for these. It's the size of him. If I stood the gun up, it's the size of him. So we've got all of our plastic cups and everything and whatever sort of thing. Oh, we had an amazing time. One of them's a semi-automatic, for Christ's sake. I had to give him the whole safety. Yeah. Semi-automatic Nerf gun, mate. Battery. It's unbelievable. I had to lay out 4. Yeah.
I want one.
Unbelievable. So much fun.
I guess cups on that.
Well, it's cowboys and Indians when I was little, but now it's the Nerf guns are the thing now.
The other day, like, I was on my own with them, and we had a Jenga set out. And we were playing.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 Jenga blocks, put them side by side, and I put one across the top, and I was like, look, a tank. Right? He spent the whole evening
playing with
imagining tanks and bases building just out of Jenga blocks.
Yeah. That is incredible. Wow.
All you need is wooden blocks.
Yeah.
All you need is fucking wooden blocks.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean,
I did that with a balloon the other day. I had a balloon at basically a Senna's granddad's at my dad's the other day. All it was a balloon. It kept him happy or whatever for hours.
Yeah.
A balloon. Why do we waste our money?
I'm actually the same. Sometimes I'll get obsessed with stuff. I can sit there and just play with this for ages.
Yeah.
For ages, and just think.
Oh my days.
we don't need this like someone who's like the whole thing in it, all the gear, no idea. Someone who's got everything, and it's like you've got everything. It's like when you've got less, forces you to fucking use your imagination.
Yeah.
Which is another thing, like you with videos, especially.
Yeah.
The times we've turned up on shoots and it's like, or like
You
we
wanna
go,
do
it's
this?
like, don't want to do this. It's like,
Let me get back to you.
yeah, let me get back to you.
I know how to do it.
Come back, it's like, yeah, I've worked it out. I reckon if we do this, we can kind of do it. There's no like technical fucking like
thing that you can bring
like
that like
I mean, it's just like
It was like the Black Twang video, where we wanted me to be under the mask and me take the mask off.
yeah.
I was like, how are we going to do it? And you were like, don't know. I know how to do it.
Do you know what I love more than anything? I got to say this or whatever sort of thing about doing music videos. You know, with these amazing artists. It's such a privilege working with so different types of talents. And every time I work with somebody or whatever, they got their own ideas. And I absolutely, and it's the same, but with music back in the day or whatever sort of. And I absolutely love feeding upon artists' ideas. Their ideas originally, I just make it actually happen and make it real. You know what I mean? And within a budget as well. Yeah. Because you can imagine the crazy ideas or whatever sort of thing that come away. It's like, okay, it's going to cost you a few grand, and then it obviously. But as an example, I love it or whatever. Every now and then when somebody says, look, Chris, do whatever you want to do. I'll let you hear the tune. Tell me your ideas or whatever sort of thing. We'll perhaps go with that sort of thing, And I remember I did a video recently, a couple of months ago, with Dashfields. Big shout Dashfields. And he says, look, C-double, I need you to do like your little thing or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Here's the track, and it reminded me, it's called Armageddon. And it reminded me or whatever sort of thing of Mad Max. And I love these conversations when I'm calling him. I'm saying, right, bruv, I've got an idea. Listen, what's going to happen is the video's going to open up with you pounding somebody's head in, literally pounding somebody's head in, and the camera's going to pull out, see you pounding somebody's head in. Right before you basically set light to them and set them on fire and walk away. That's the intro. And he's like, what? He goes, how are you going to make that happen? And that's exactly what we did or whatever sort of thing. I love that. I love when people say like, how the hell are you going to... Yeah, Dash Fields, yeah. And
go and watch that. What's it called?
Dash Fields, I think it's called... I think it's called Apocalypse, actually.
Dash Fields
I think it's called Apocalypse.
Go and watch
Apocalypse, we got it.
But it's just one video of many or whatever. And the same thing is with, you know, music or whatever, when people have ideas. But like, I think when it comes to visuals and stuff like that, it's absolutely amazing to be able to basically figure things out. I think I was really lucky or whatever that I was, you know, my dad was very creative or whatever. He was a painter. He also did videos and stuff as well. So I kind of got that whole, like my dad, David Wilkey, he would spend like a couple of days like making a set that might last like 4 or 5 seconds in one of his in a video.
Dedication.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the same thing is with visual effects.
Yep.
Visual effects, basically like computer generated effects or whatever, and technology as well has allowed us to do a lot of that as well.
So John Seaton, who I did Dopamine with, who's been on the show, and he one of his tracks this year is Losers. Is that what it's called? I can't remember. Anyway, he it's not Losers, I can't remember the one. But anyway, I'll put it in the link maybe. He done this thing with like pop-up art, and he made all the trees, he made the plasticine figures and everything, and shot it all frame by frame himself. I said,
that's what I'm talking about.
I said, John, how long did that take you? He goes, fucking ages. So he cut out all the trees by hand out of cardboard, made the little plasticine men, and moved them all around. And that. It's a really fucking creative thing. And he, again, it's just people there where they're creative.
No, absolutely.
And what patience you have to do it.
And it's being able to put it together or whatever sort of thing as well, because sometimes people have these. I have a lot of artists have incredible video ideas. Some of them are so out there that they just can never be done or whatever, and they have this great high expectation or whatever sort of thing of it. But I think they're surprised that sometimes what seems like, oh, that's going to be really high budget. It's not actually high budget. Like with the video with Dash Fields, we didn't use real fire when he was setting fire to the guy that he just pounded his head in. We was actually using stock footage by some amazing companies that do stock footage of like fire and elements and water and stuff like that, and we can add it to the video or whatever sort of thing. It's incredible. We just couldn't do that, or it's just it looks so amateur or whatever before. We can do that now, and incredible whatever sort of thing. We had to work with to continue basically working with music artists or whatever, even after sort of producing hip hop or whatever myself. So
because I think like you don't even need that high end or special effects to do an effective video.
No, back to the music.
Look what we did with fucking The Shrink's Wet Dream.
Yeah,
with the grave.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely. Yeah.
Simple idea. It was like there wasn't like no one else even in the video.
Yeah, no, absolutely incredible.
Fucking such a
because we was like, how are we gonna make that look? Because it's only it was basically a tiny bit of dirt basically, and we needed to make it look a lot bigger. So we shot it. I said we need a close-up shot and a wider shot so people understand where you are.
Yeah.
So we actually shot it in 2 separate places. We shot one bit in your back garden,
in the vegetable patch.
In the vegetable patch, and then the other whatever about a quarter of a mile away in the woods. It's incredible. But the same thing is, I think when we all started music, and it doesn't matter, because I think at some point I've had conversations with you as well about this, about equipment when it comes to music and starting off something creative. You see somebody else with a better what you think is a better piece of equipment than you. Because I remember we had this conversation because you said, I got a few grand or whatever, I'm going to get a Mac, this, that, and the other sort of thing. And we had this whole conversation. It's like, okay, or whatever, just make sure that's the creative tools or whatever that you need, rather than the power and stuff you need or whatever. The only reason is because, again, we just use whatever we had or whatever. Like when I started with music, me and my friend, we just had like a keyboard and it sampled for 4 seconds. And we had a delay pedal that was a guitar pedal that delayed. So it went, yo, 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 what? That was the shit to us. That was like, we were so happy.
Yeah.
But the things that we could create with that, we didn't really care whatever people were thinking. We were just creating.
They say you should limit what you have because it will make you more creative.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the counter argument. Be like, nah, fucking, like, you could fucking do whatever with fucking unlimited channels.
Yeah.
But there's also the argument of like, no, you've got 28 channels, make it work. Bam.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's
absolutely.
There's the argument.
I remember, and I know we've had this long, boring conversations for most, but although I love making beats, I had a great career or whatever sort of thing in hip hop, but I was not a good, what do you want to call it? I wasn't very good at mastering this, that, and the other, you know? And me and you used to have many conversations, and the way we used to get past that is basically, like, I remember it was a drum and bass guy or whatever sort of thing. I didn't have any samples of sub bass, but he wanted the same sub bass or whatever as we had in Jungle. Now, it just so happens in the studio at the time, we had some 15-inch Jamo speakers or whatever, basically. And I said, right, we want some of these, you know, these incredible bass sounds. So we had an Akai sampler, and all we did is get a dynamic mic, and we put we were recording on the sampler, and we put the dynamic mic in the comb of the 15-inch sub. And the noise sub that gave off, like, whoom.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, nice.
We used that for like another 3 songs or whatever later. That same sample that we just like, and that was just putting a dynamic mic in it. We just had that. I didn't know how to make sub basses. I didn't know what Cine and Sawtooth was at the time.
It's like that. It reminds me now of like when you look at Netflix and you spend longer scrolling through what you want to watch than you do when you actually watch it. And it's the same with sample libraries, man. You're like, fucking ass, like we said with fucking with Jay Manuka. It was like when he did the whole thing, you're clicking through it, and by the time you hear a good snare that you think sounds sick, it's not the right snare for the track because you're so fucking working. You've gone through so many samples. It's like, yeah, too much choice.
But sometimes or whatever, this is the thing. This is the thing I think I miss about the studio is having so many people around because they all got different levels and the things that they're thinking or whatever in the process of making a tune, right? So, for example, whatever, I might find just a simple melody that I know will sit with an appropriate rapper. So, for example, my guy or whatever, Gwenny, he always like piano and strings. So if I start with piano and strings or whatever, I know that's going to spark him up. Yeah. I know he's a bass man. So within a few minutes, I've already got the beat up or whatever sort of thing, and got like, you know, I mean, whatever he's liking, he's already on the keyboard starting to like make some sort of bass or whatever to add to this. And this is the thing I think I miss, as I said to you earlier, about having so many creatives around at the same time, because they can contribute to so much to one project, and you're not even really thinking too much about what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't miss those, you know what I mean? That's what I miss.
Well, we need a session, innit? We need to put together a little session.
There's some of that happens regularly because the trouble is, it's like fucking having kids and that. It's just like, it's like, oh, I'm just a dad. It's like fucking, you spend the time doing that. It's like fucking, I need to fucking
I know what you mean.
reconnect and like create time. Okay, you haven't got as much time as you did before, but still fucking time, man. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You need to make time to like, otherwise do you mean you can't have the complete package? You can't let yourself die who you are as a person.
I think some you've got to remind yourself or whatever. Or it's like, you know, you get on with your life or whatever sort of thing. You get on with, you know, looking after your family and stuff like that. And I think every now and then you remind yourself, or you get influenced. Like I watch you guys or whatever sort of thing, and watch some of the things that you do, or whatever, and I get influenced by that. Yeah. You know, I've seen the thing that like influenced me. Even my son, he said, "Oh, Dad, are you going to do rapping again?" Because I was Marky did a tune with Oreo, and he did a video with Oreo, and he did a tune with you. He did a couple of tunes or whatever, all at the same time. So he become active again. You know, Marky's almost 50 years old, and he's, you know what I mean?
Is
and that's who my son was listening
to. He came to mine for his birthday party.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just absolutely incredible, whatever sort of thing. And that's my son.
How old's Nas?
I was 47.
Nas at the
Same age
number
as
one
Nas.
album.
Yeah.
At the age of 47.
Wow.
Come on,
Recently.
Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the beauty about like genres like hip hop, or
I
like
think it's
rock,
changed, though.
or
I
like
think the hip hop thing has changed. I think it's now that we've got older artists being accepted to carry on making music.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
In the 90s, early 2000s, it's still a young man's sport.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
But
yeah, yeah.
there are other genres like where the age doesn't matter. Like you could be a jazz musician.
I don't think
you
it
could
really.
be a jazz musician
Listen,
at any age,
country.
or you country,
Yeah.
or rock.
Even
Unless
R&B,
you're
to a
like
certain degree.
pop.
look,
pop.
as long as it's cool. This is the thing. This is what killed MTV to me, and what but MTV
My Super
basically.
16. That's what it is. Like that now, there's no end. Like
No, as an example, you know, it wasn't really me talking. I can't remember who it was or whatever sort of. And there was an interview with Gene Simmons. That's who it was. Gene Simmons, and he says, because he says what he was being interviewed, and they said to him, "What killed rock music?" He goes, "Hip hop." Hip hop came along. They brought the big boobs, the fast cars, the jewelry. They brought cool shit to people. That's what killed rock and roll. Rock and roll wasn't cool anymore. Basically, they didn't make it cool anymore. And it's the same thing with hip hop nowadays, or whatever. You got these generations and these little waves, this, that, and the other sort of thing. And the old cats, as long as they keep hip hop cool again.
It's only happened recently, though, I think, because if you look at so Nas released that album with Kanye. Kanye killed him, prick. Like that album was shit. I don't care. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks the same. And if you look at Styles P is a good example. So Styles P, his latest album is fire.
Yeah.
His album before that was weak because, like, I think Griselda and people like that have made the boom bap, the original hip hop, cool again.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Now, even Busta Rhymes, you look at Busta Rhymes, look at his last album, Fire. The album before that was shit.
And listen, it's not just even hip hop or whatever. You know, we see rock and roll music or whatever sort of thing, like Rolling Stones and stuff or whatever. I mean, seriously, they're still cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're making it look cool. Whereas somebody else or whatever sort of thing within the rock and roll industry just might not make it look cool.
I also think that we live in a society in a world now where people crave substance.
Yeah, it's gone backwards a bit.
Yeah.
Like the substance that is out there now, like you can hear some fucking like whether it's the production or lyrically, there is some fucking pure substance that is being put out.
Yeah.
It's not, and then it's not all substance. There's something there for everyone. You got a fucking range, but it's like there's a lot of good music on a whole wide variety of scale. I mean, look, there's fucking 8 billion people in the world. Like,
Absolutely.
there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
That come up on the Noodles one, and even he said you go to a King Aggie night, you're gonna have a certain demographic or a certain audience.
Absolutely.
You go to a High Focus night, you're gonna have a different fucking demographic audience. You're gonna have the kids with the backpacks.
But it's right. So this thing. Did you guys ever go to the Mobb Deep before he passed away?
Yeah. The one
How lucky were we?
Yeah.
That was like 6 months before he.
Who did I go with? At O2, innit?
Yeah,
I
it
went
was.
with you.
There.
You was there.
I went with you.
Yeah, and I seen you two.
Well,
I seen you two there as well.
Stocksy.
You
Yeah, so I went with Stocksy, I think.
No.
Yeah, man.
Nah, mate, I was with you. But I was with you. Mate, I swear.
So many gigs, you know. Yeah.
Wait,
It's like 6 months before he passed
you
away.
Dead. You
No,
with Noah.
I was with Noah, yeah, that was it. Because I seen you lot there. Yeah, I remember now.
Well,
there
look,
we go.
Back in the day,
Hey,
out in the
so
end.
back in the beginning when I said that my memory's gone, I think I need to give out fucking Chris Double these fucking lions, mate.
Chris,
oh my god! No, all I remember is back in the day or whatever sort of thing. There was a certain demographic that I was comfortable with growing up, right? But now, when I went to a Mobb Deep concert, I'm there in my white tee, my sneakers, this, that, and the other. I'm going hip hop, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm surrounded by students with backpacks, this, that, and the other. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but I felt uncomfortable because they don't know the rules, bruv. Because if they stand on my sneakers, I'm gonna get pissed. Like everybody used to get pissed. Don't stand on my sneakers, but they ain't gonna get it. And every now and then, you always get a dickhead. Looking back or whatever sort of thing, I'm all right, bruv. I'm just stood here on this little pillar.
Remember that? It's that Rodney P lyric.
But I'm still in that mode again.
All the rich
He's like this very
white
black
youths
kids that want to dress like kings and all them white rich kids that want to dress like tramps.
I'm just saying they didn't know the rules.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching Mobb Deep, I just want to fug out. Like, you know what I mean? I want to fuck or fight by the end of the night, basically, or whatever. That's the feeling it gave me or whatever. I was so hyped, so buzzed with, gangster hip hop or hip hop period or whatever. And I was really uncomfortable at this concert, but it wasn't because of the concert, it's because of the demographic of people that I wasn't used to. So just call me an old fart, this, that, and the other, whatever you like, or whatever sort of thing. But I genuinely felt comfortable with the demographic of growing up, and I felt safer back then. I know that's weird, because I wasn't Honestly, they was looking at me like I was in the wrong.
What to expect then, innit?
Yeah.
I guess. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you know Wagwan, you know not to step on people's trainers, you know to keep yourself to yourself, tuck your chain in.
Yeah.
You're looking around like, oh.
Hope you find your way out of Compton Avenue, motherfucker.
But this is the thing. I felt comfortable with that. And again, you know, growing up with hip hop or whatever sort of thing. I mean, I grew up in Bath or whatever. So if I wanted to basically be subjected to any culture, whether it's food, music, dance, graffiti or whatever back in the day, we all used to go to Bristol. And it wasn't always the prettiest place or whatever sort of thing to be involved in hip hop or whatever sort of thing back then. But you did it for the love, this, that and the other, and you genuinely felt a family when you got there. It was going to the bus stops and probably getting robbed or whatever, going through the streets or whatever sort of thing you had to worry about back then.
It's I think hip hop is one of the most not the most inclusive culture the world has seen.
Wow, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like full stop period.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The way they involved everything, advertising, sports, everything.
No,
Is-
like
From
people, like
people.
like,
So you look at it from the beginning. We all know that the origins of hip hop was. Do you mean it was a social movement from people in the projects, like getting together. You had Cool Herc, you had
Grandmaster Flash, absolutely, yeah.
And it was from the projects, and it was like
I like the way you didn't mention African Bambaataa there. Nice one.
like it was. It was like bringing people together for the project like that. It's birthed out of that.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
inclusive is spread. Like, do you mean it's like it's gone globally and like you say with the thing, like it wasn't just the rappers. It's not a genre. Like, and it's not.
Yeah.
I know exactly what. Listen,
you got the
yeah.
rap
I
writers,
remember.
you said
I
at the
was,
beginning, like,
I had the privilege of working with Blacksmith, and he was working with Skinny Man basically on a project. In the words of Skinny Man says basically or whatever sort of in the hip hop recognizes hip hop, and he's absolutely right. You recognize hip hop from across the road.
Yeah, that's
whether
true.
it's somebody they wear, the way they smile at you, or whatever sort of thing. Hip hop recognizes hip hop or whatever, and it's always been a very positive thing or whatever. You know, gone are the days of gang warfare, Bloods and Crips sort of thing. And I genuinely believe that or whatever sort of thing. And I think that's the reason why I love now, as you know, trying to keep my foot absolutely as heavily as into hip hop or whatever as I can. Because I love the community or whatever of people, whatever.
Yeah, it's a movement. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, that's why I think again, like we're talking now, like the state of the world. I think with the people who's craving the substance, it's like the amount of like upheavals we've got in the world now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The impending fucking doom of fucking climate crisis. The division fucking is being placed upon us like fucking.
But again, you
uncontrollable
know, all of those
techniques.
things.
Like
Yeah.
things. And it's like there are enough struggles to fucking like.
Yeah.
But
this is the thing. This is the thing. You know, you had the struggles and everything that was going on in New York, Brooklyn, and various places like in America that actually evolved some of these projects. You have to remember or whatever sort of thing. Because I remember that there used to be a lot of arguments because rappers used to be complimentary. Basically, when they used to go to church, they used to be complimentary to each other and say, look, at the beginning of my show or the beginning of their rap concert, they used to thank who they, like the mothers, fathers, the reverends, the other rappers or whatever, or the other people, whatever, involved in their life for them being there in the first place, whatever, and that ended up stopping or whatever, later. And then there was a lot of disagreements or whatever in hip hop and stuff like that. It's like that original idea didn't come from him; it come from someone else, But the whole thing or whatever sort of thing where you had deprivation and these different things actually birth some of these things.
Yeah, but that goes all the way back to like Shakespeare. And
it's like they say
Shakespeare didn't come up with all these fucking concepts. He got it from someone else.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Everything comes from everywhere else. You repurpose.
Yeah, but it's almost like some of these hard times, if you want to call it that. Even now, you know what I mean? Whatever it might be, whether it's the COVID, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
A million people would say, they're going to birth creatives. Most importantly, creatives with new ideas, this, that, and the other. Everybody says about COVID syndrome and God knows what else I've heard or whatever about being stuck inside.
Yeah.
A lot of people, almost every other person you hear is like, I did a whole album. I made an album basically during COVID. Or they shot videos. Hobson was shooting in Thailand, I think.
There was
his videos.
The other day. There was it was Jordan Peterson. He was interviewing someone and he was talking about tyrants. And he was saying the danger of having one tyrant versus you're better off having 1,000 tyrants than you are having one tyrant. Because if you got 1,000 tyrants, you have the people you can compete and you can say, right, fuck you, I'm going to go and work for that tyrant.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to go to that tyrant.
If you want,
because if you've got one tyrant, you have to fucking leave the country.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you mean you've got nowhere else to go?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
what
that's actually-
the dangers of having too much in control of the state. And yeah, do you mean it's like that? Like the struggles. It's like, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Even through, you know, whether there's, you know, troubles in the world or whatever, deprivation or whatever sort of thing, I'm just saying it has birth creativity, whereas they've made do with whatever they've got.
Yeah.
Because whenever we see, I think it was Netflix or whatever that did the birth of hip hop, basically.
Yeah.
That they put the matter. It was just incredible. I was screaming on the phone to Gwenny.
The evolution of
Yeah, it's something like that. Sorry, I can't. It was a Netflix
It was
production.
good, man. It was really good.
incredible. Now
Really
I
good.
actually grew up listening to those people for the first time.
Yeah.
So that was my generation. So for example, Roxanne Shante, right? Let me tell you what story is. How it got to be so fresh, right? I'm screaming down the phone at my guy Gwenny or whatever, says, bruv, you know Roxanne, you know they've got her when she actually went to the bedroom and she says, listen, I need to do the laundry, I need to look after the kids. I haven't really got time. No, come on, just spit some bars or whatever, basically. And she did, he recorded that. Morgan Khan, you know, in different record companies, whatever, basically got hold of that, made that global. I mean, it wasn't even that good of a rap, but it was everything. It was the birth of rap music. You know, they were doing it or whatever sort of thing. It's battle raps, basically, or whatever sort of thing. You know? And a lot of those people didn't really make too much money back then, or they got, I mean, she got robbed and, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? Things that work out with a record company, the $1 million, like, you know, question.
I think anyone who gets involved in music to make money, you are fucking doing it for the wrong reasons. If you want to do it for that, then fucking best of luck to you. But
I think,
say,
but do you know anybody that this is the thing, because I know we've had this conversation a few times, but in fact, there's very few people that I've met have actually said to me, they usually say the opposite. They say, oh, you know, like I'm not really, you know, it's like, oh, you know, how much do you charge? It's like, oh, no, it's okay, I'll do it for the love of the music. It starts off like that, it does, right? But it's when or whatever sort of thing, those same people get upset when you're making money or you're making an extra income or you started a business by doing exactly the same as what they're doing, and then they get upset about it. If that makes sense.
I don't think you should like. I don't think you should. I think you should be able to monetize what you're good at.
But you shouldn't do it just
But you shouldn't do it for that.
No, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know how you. Yeah, no,
It's
absolutely not. No,
it's
that's
like,
right. Yeah.
Do a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you can't.
that's
Like, it's
absolutely
like
right,
anything. Like if you're anything you want to do, you need to learn at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you can't go in and just like saying, I want fucking money for this, I want money for this. It's like
I think the money naturally
It
comes or
comes
whatever after. Yeah.
it does, dude. Like,
Because again, when it come to my hip hop career, I wasn't actually selling anything for a long time. I was doing like, I say albums, they weren't even mixtapes. They were original. Well, I say original. They were sample-based music. We did about 3 albums or whatever before the year 2000, I think it was, between me and Gwenny, and a few other people, whatever, in the crew at the time. But what I'm saying is, whatever, we used to do like a sell-in return, and a lot of people used to do that. Like we had other people that we grew up or whatever. You know, they got little record deals or whatever sort of thing, or sponsorship. You know, we didn't have that. We actually went to the record shops or whatever sort of thing, and we said basically, you know, can we do a sell or return? So whatever you don't sell, basically you get back. That was an incredible milestone or whatever for us. That's just the way things used to work or whatever sort of thing, like, you know. But it went until later, they were like, basically people were starting to ask me for my beats, and I was given a platform, if that makes sense. Well, the internet basically or whatever allowed me to put my beats. It started with MySpace, funny enough for me. I was putting my music or whatever up there and saying, oh my God, where are you getting your beats from? And I'm making the beats. But they weren't people from England. They were the very idle people that I was listening to in the States. And that's how that
Americans
started.
were on it, like, because before we were, I mean, like, they've been buying beats for ages, haven't they? It's like always been like sort of like monetized. Now it's fucking everywhere. Like the amount of like the courses that I see pop up for advertisements on Instagram. It's like,
okay,
learn how to market yourself as a producer. Offer them 5 free exclusive royalty-free beats to get them on your mailing list and all that sort of shit. And it's like,
yeah.
It's like the same tactics now, and it's like it's a massive thing now, and it's like fucking because I still don't, the licensing thing is still fucking very.
It's weird, bro. I do not get it. I do not understand it. So, as an example, right, we got 10 minutes left. So, as an example, right, that tune that we bought off that dude, yeah. So we paid for, what did we pay for? Exclusive.
Yeah.
But there's something higher than that. Right, so if someone comes along and buys that beat outright,
Yeah.
what happens to our tune?
What I understand exclusive is, exclusive means exclusive. So somebody's made a piece of original music and they've sold it to you exclusively. It means you own it, or they've written some sort of terms or whatever they're supposed, before you basically pay any money, they should be explaining in their contract. So for example, because what was more misleading in the beats world or whatever was what non-exclusive meant.
No, that's
because non-exclusive
what this was,
meant
though. It wasn't
I could sell the beats over
different grades, right?
Yeah.
So we bought an exclusive beat, but there was an option that was above it. I can't remember what he called it.
Right.
But it was something else.
I think it's like, so the one above it, I think is like for you to, so we don't, it's still his beat.
Yeah.
So, but we've got the, it's exclusive. We've got the exclusive rights to do what we want, but it's still
his beat.
He still owns the master of.
Okay.
So here you go. Here's the question then. Right. I buy, because you normally got a few different grades before you get to the exclusive, yeah?
Yeah,
so you have
okay.
the beat, and you're only allowed to use it on a mixtape for no profit and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So say you get one, and it's just below the exclusive, so you don't own the beat outright.
Right.
You've paid a lot of money to be able to put it on Spotify, make a music video, this many plays on radio, etc.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then Gimson comes along and buys the exclusive.
No, it can't be, no. Nah, because you like if you basically
this isn't the exclusive though.
That's what I'm saying. Once somebody else has got that beat, it ain't exclusive anymore. Period. So
you're missing what I'm saying.
Sorry.
So basically, you've got the exclusive beat here, and then you've got the options leading up to it.
Yeah.
So you've got like fucking option 1, 20 quid just a beat. Can't have it on radio. Can't use it for a music video. Yeah. That. Then you've got the next one. It's like you can use it for a music video. You can have one play on radio. And then you have a next one, next one. Then you get the exclusive. So say you get the one before exclusive.
Yeah.
And you've got it, and you've had it for a year, and it's running. It's doing numbers on Spotify, YouTube. It's been played on radio and all that. And then Gimson comes along, hears that beat of yours.
Yeah.
Goes, I want the exclusive of that, and buys it. Where does that leave me?
Basically, I did not, and I cannot give somebody I couldn't give anybody an exclusive beat after I've sold it as exclusive. So as an example,
No, it's not exclusive.
I know.
So someone's
but you're saying somebody's going after.
So if people are leasing a beat, right? They haven't bought the exclusive. So say people are leasing a beat to whatever scale, and then someone comes along later and goes, right, I want to buy the exclusive.
Yeah.
What happens for the people that are leasing it before?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for me, I didn't give it. I can't give it exclusive if I've already sold it as non-exclusive.
In general, like
of course.
The minefield
used on that album. I want the exclusive of that.
No, of course.
And you go, well, I didn't sell him the exclusive. I've sold it.
It's just But
what does Drake do then? This is what I'm saying. What do you do if Drake goes, I want that beat? I'll pay you 20 million for that beat. What do you do to the other?
Well, first of all, he came to me or whatever because my beats are sick. So I'll just say, well, that's already sold and resold and sold again or whatever as non-exclusive. So you can't. So if you want a beat or whatever, I'll make you a beat.
Why did these producers keep those beats on their page then?
I used to. So I used to keep. So people. Sometimes when I used to put my beats up, immediately, some people might buy those beats off me exclusively, and I would put. On C double beats, I would put exclusive. So I will not sell it, but I want people can still listen to it.
Yeah.
But it's been sold exclusively, and I will not give that beat or sell it non-exclusively to anybody else.
What if they haven't bought it exclusively?
Then they bought it. What if they bought it non-exclusive? Then they got it non-exclusively.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
It's only one or the other.
That's what we're asking.
But like people are like selling the beat exclusively later on after
that's
selling it to.
But that's naughty. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. I would never do that. That's what I'm saying. Anybody that's got my beats exclusively, they're the only ones that got my beats.
Then what's the point in selling it non-exclusively?
Because there was a lot of beats that were incredibly popular. That when I did a beat, I knew hopefully that it was going to be popular, and it would sell over and over. So I would, if somebody says can I have that beat exclusively? It's sick.
Yeah.
I'll say no. it's not an exclusive beat. I will not be selling it to you for like $200-$300 or whatever as it was. Because I knew I'd be making more money, like $500, by reselling that sick beat over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how he's approached it.
Yeah, it's a minefield, man.
Yeah, it's mad.
Innit? That whole world.
I think there's a lot of platforms or whatever that genuinely help you with licensing, this, that, and the other. Write you contracts so you don't have to write them, and you can tweak them, say this, that, and the other sort of thing, because you're absolutely right. It could be incredibly complicated, and even with, whether it's doing music videos, this, that, and the other, I always say whatever, you do realise, if you haven't already, because usually they got the tags over here, a lot of music artists, which is quite the style and fashion, by the way, to leave the producers' hip-hop tags over the top. Skits or whatever, so you can recognise the producer. People like to leave that on, but I'm just saying or whatever sort of thing, and make it clear that you do understand or whatever sort of thing, that you can buy the non-exclusive lease to that beat and actually be able to sell it.
Yeah.
To make, so if they're doing a music video, you might be able to pay for the music video itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I think we're into the last little sections. So, what is your personal meaning of life, see?
Personal meaning of life. Oh Jesus, I don't know, man. It's so funny because we sometimes we have some of the most deepest conversations, and you just caught me off guard. Being happy, meaning of life. Just to follow your happiness, man. Like period. Just be happy in whatever you do. Yeah, spend time with people that you love and you love spending time with. Because most of us don't do enough of that, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And that's one of the things I miss. We get on with our lives, this, that, and the other sort of thing, and don't spend enough time with the people that we love and we genuinely care about, man.
Yeah, I think we're hinting at a new movement between Sea Devil, Country Culture.
New clothing line.
Yeah. Watch out, people. Have you got any one's got to goes?
For C?
Yeah.
I could come up with some off the top of my head, I reckon.
We're going to do some one's got to goes with you.
New age hip hop goers. No, let's not go down there. Let me think. All right, you go first.
Trap or electro?
There we go.
What? Something's got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, trap.
Trap's gone.
Yeah.
All right, good. I guess it wouldn't be here.
Well, I just think electro was kind of like the birth of a lot of genres. We briefly spoke about it earlier.
Gwenny or Dead TBS?
Just to be clear to everybody or whatever, these are the two front runners of my crew. So look, I think I'd rather die than. And again, look, it's the same argument with Tupac and Biggie, because I thought you might even touch on that, because they're two every time. It's a kind of a dumb question, because in the manner of
they're both different.
They're completely different.
Yeah. And so
Biggie
is Gwenny
is
and
sick,
DiBiase.
but I might be in a different mood when I'm listening to Tupac or whatever. He was a completely different type.
Completely different artist.
Yeah. Dead TBiase and Gwenny was completely different.
He said to me, he said, he tried to say to me, Carval assassin. I said, you can't do that. He said, all right then, your mum or your missus. All right, cool, I go with you. Onyx or Wu-Tang?
Nice.
Onyx.
Gotta go.
Onyx has got to go, sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know it's all about character, but I would have went, yeah.
All right.
I couldn't live without Wu-Tang. In fact, I probably would be here without Wu-Tang.
White tee or Tim boots?
Tim boots have got to go.
Is it?
Yeah, white tees, man. Jesus.
Okay. Go on.
Day job or film job?
Day job's got to go.
Yeah, fuck off, day job.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no brainer, man.
Well, Costa.
Yeah. No,
Shout out Costa. Costa's there.
He's back.
Still not put
Saturday, Sunday roast.
in the
Sunday
bin.
roast.
Banana skin's still there.
Was that 5?
No, one more. Let's go.
I feel like you're warming up now.
Man, I wish you prepared it. You could have come some crackers. Did you watch the Marquee one when we did this?
Yeah, we got Marky good.
Did you
Go on
watch
then.
the Marquee one? Watch the Marquee one. It's
It's a good one, man.
a good one.
Oh, brilliant. My favourite number's 4, mine. So
What about Merc or Beamer?
Beamer's got to go, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, you're a Merc, man.
No, because I have a Merc. So. Do you know what? I've never owned a BMW, so I can't even say I've never owned a
Used to have
BMW.
Audis, innit?
Yeah, Audi was my main thing. I did have a BMW for a little bit. High mileage car, Mark 5 Series or whatever. Lasted 5 minutes before the head gasket went. Yeah.
Mate, I fucking
So, yeah,
before going to Cornwall the other week, I took the car to the garage and fucking it was fucked. Basically, so he said, "Fucking," he goes, "I wouldn't take the Cornwall." He goes, like, basically, I think it was the suspension or the axle or something. He goes, basically, it's on the verge of snapping.
Oh,
he goes,
wow.
If it does, your wheels are going to go like that, and they're going to lock that way. So you goes fucking 70 down the M5.
Oh,
fucking,
dear me.
So we had to rush around. That's the Beamer, man.
Jesus.
But that's high mileage. That's what 160,000.
Yeah.
My days.
What? No, I like them.
No, they're great to look at.
They're great to drive as well.
Yeah, I thought they were great.
Yeah. I used to drive my ex's dad's because he used to piss me off. So I used to take his car out and fucking go joyriding it.
Just shagging in it.
The whole rear wheel drive going around like roundabouts. Rude. What rear wheel? Dead. Sort it out. Beamer.
Wow.
BMW.
Yeah,
dead
yeah.
thing.
Basically what they're doing now is they're putting like heated seats in every car, and like now you have to pay to unlock that feature.
I don't like heated seats. It makes you feel like you pissed your pants. What, is it just me that thinks that, is it? Fuck me, it does, mate. When getting people's car, I put the heated seat on. Fucking leave it off, you show off. I'm alright, mate. I like my batty cold.
Get piles, mate. Get piles sitting on them cold walls.
Goodness me.
What's that? Is that it?
1 hour and 1 minute.
Sick.
Well, I think
Alright,
we go.
cool.
Can we do shout outs before we go in or
Yeah,
what?
shout
Do whatever
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go.
Well, look. Shout out Gimson Rosko. Please, comment, subscribe,
Yes.
like, and shout out to my crew, direct crew. You know who you are. There's quite a few, whatever. They're still out there or whatever. And big shout to Gwenny. Big shout to my son, Senna.
Yep.
It's his first day riding his bike or whatever today. That was amazing. Yeah. I
Sick.
swear he crouched down or whatever and he cried with joy or whatever. It's beautiful.
What, first day without stabilizers? Mate?
Yeah. And he cycled.
Sick.
He went from one, I mean, about 100, 200 feet, something like that, or whatever sort of thing. So I think he's officially.
What do you do? You run along behind like that and just let go?
Yeah, kind of let go. Yeah, just waiting for him to fall down. And, but he was all right. Yeah, absolutely
Sick.
brilliant. Yeah.
Sick.
But big shout to hip hop period or whatever sort of thing. To all creatives, video guys.
Yeah, man.
Behind there or whatever as well. Shout out to all the creatives or whatever, doing music videos, doing music or whatever sort of thing. And welcome to the Gimson Rosko Show. See double. Yeah.
Big ups. Yeah,
Sick.
big ups.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nice. Hey. Right, sweaty box. Yeah, sick. That was a good thing. I was like, when I woke up this morning, I was like,